This longboard is like if Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla had a baby together. Yes. Welcome back again for another longboard review. You're watching St33zy Vibs, and this time I'm bringing you the Eclipse from Moonshine Manufacturing. This longboard was created and designed by none other than the one and only Brandon Desjarlais, who, if you don't know by now, then what are you doing? Seriously, man, what are you doing? Go check him out after this video. Let me know what you think about him. So let's jump into a little history on the board, huh? In 2018, Desjarlais started designing the Eclipse when he was just a wee little years old. And with the help and feedback of his friend and pro boarder Merv, it took a full 2 years of prototyping just to dial in the board. Wait, 2 years? Dang, seriously? I don't even think you understand just how long that is. To be working on one single thing for 2 years? 730 days? 8,760? You get the... Big St33zy salute goes out to Merv for backing up the homie Desjarlais when he needed him. Just so you know, Brandon, if you need another homie to help test out your next board, I got you, man. Way desperate.
Oh, this is terrible.
Well, being the perfectionist he is, Desjarlais spent unimaginable sleepless nights, standing on other boards, taking measurements, doing quick mock-ups, trying different tricks, countless phone calls, and innumerable video chats with team riders, taking every step and paying close attention to how each detail was shaped for the Eclipse until it was flawless. Huge St33zy salute goes out to Brandon Desjarlais for the dedication and time that he poured into this board. I appreciate everything you've done for this board, man. Thank you. Now, obsessed with every detail, even down to the shape of the wheel flares, Desjarlais wouldn't stop until perfection was reached. In around March of 2020, that day of perfection had finally arrived when Desjarlais and Moonshine teamed up and released the Eclipse. St33zy salute goes out to Moonshine Manufacturing for manufacturing Desjarlais' brainchild for all of us to enjoy. Wait, does that sound weird?
Yes, quite absolutely right.
Now, the name of the graphic designer for this board is still unknown, and everyone I asked couldn't remember or just didn't know. So go ahead and tag them down in the comments below if you know their name, because not only did they do the top and bottom graphic on the Eclipse, but they also did graphics for the Outlaw, the County Line, the Hoedown, the Firewater, and so many more Moonshine boards. That's crazy, dude, damn. And all these designs are super fire too. So St33zy salute goes out to this mystery graphic designer for their beautiful work on the Eclipse. So starting with the construction of the board, it's a 2-ply vertically laminated wood core with triaxial fiberglass on top and bottom, as well as a layer of triaxial fiberglass in the middle, with added 10-inch carbon fiber for reinforcement. Funny story about this combo was, after what felt like forever with designing, Desjarlais finally got his hands on the first real prototype of the Eclipse. Excited was probably an understatement, so he packed the board and immediately flew out to New York City to ride it on the Broadway bomb, and instantly broke it by cracking the whole neck as soon as he jumped on it. He spent the rest of the weekend in New York not showing anyone the bottom of the board, which is the reason why they reinforced the Eclipse by adding that 10-inch carbon fiber to the construction. This reinforcement also helps give the board consistent flex, torsional stability, and extra strength. I've never been to the Broadway bomb, but it looks crazy dope, dude. Peep it out if you haven't yet, for real. Now, when looking at this board, first thing I noticed right off the bat was these colored rails. They're exclusive, impact-resistant urethane rails developed specifically for Moonshine boards that are machined directly to the deck and wrap 360 degrees around the whole board. So it's not only functional, but it also looks duperfy. I notice when I curb it, it leaves little white marks that look kind of like when your phone screen cracks and bubbles up. But these bubbles never mess with the integrity of the board either. And I'd much rather have it bubble up a little than have a mean ass chip in the Kicktails when it blasts into the curb. Cause I always curb my board. And it's actually the reason why I had to retire my Bongra V1, which was a sad day in history. Cue sad music. It's rare, but I've seen protective rails on boards, but it was usually only on the Kicktails. So I know they're out there, but never saw them wrapped 360 degrees around the whole board and never looked anything like this. So with these urethane rails, I could finally stand up to all these curves that been trying to pump me when I'm out skating. Now with all that being said, what blew me away was just how good the construction of the board feels with these urethane rails wrapped around the whole board. I thought I'd feel them under my feet while I stood on it and skated it, but nah, not at all. It had no negative effect on the ride at all, and I can't even front, but it actually felt like it may have been a better ride somehow. Now Moonshine only presses one deck at a time. This is to help with the consistency of all their boards. And at the end of the manufacturing process, every Eclipse deck is etched with a special ID number that connects each individual board. With this info, the distillery can pinpoint construction-related elements that are resulting in inconsistent final products, which is pretty badass to be able to go back in time and trace all the information on a board in case you need to track a problem. Now there's two other features that I had to mention before moving on, and that's these new step design grab rails that comes in absolute clutch for grabs, holds, and finger flicks. The step design gives it just that little extra grip you didn't know you needed. A cool little detail about them is that they taper off as they get closer to the center of the board. And that second feature I was talking about that I absolutely love is this board is completely and 100% waterproof. Yep, you heard it right. 100% waterproof. The deck, the grip tape, the truck mounts are all waterproof. We'll touch back shortly on the grip tape and the truck mounts in another part. But for now, just by touching this board, I could tell it's sealed and waterproof. It just feels different. It's like no other board I've ever touched. And the way they did it was the same way they make wakeboards waterproof. Badass, right? Now you might be asking, St33zy, how do they make a wakeboard waterproof? Because I asked myself the same thing, in that same voice. I even asked the Google, because I didn't know. And guess what I came up with? Nathan. Not a damn thing. I'm guessing, but maybe they use some type of resin or something similar to it. Either way, comment down below if you're watching this and you know the answer. I absolutely love this feature though, because I can't stand getting my board or grip tape wet. When it comes to water, I'll hop off my board to pick it up just to walk over wet concrete. I don't care. Now the shape of the Eclipse is symmetrical, meaning the tail and the nose are the same shape. So it doesn't matter which direction you ride it. Go ahead and skate it from the back or the front, either side. Unless your OCD makes you want to skate it forward with the logo legible when looking down. With the length of 46 inches and at its widest point, 9.3 inches, paired with a thickness of about ½ an inch and a weight of 5 pounds, it's surprisingly slimmer and lighter feeling than I thought. Now at the time of this recording, the deck by itself comes in at $299, while the complete setup comes in at $399. And that comes with Arsenal 180mm 50-degree trucks, paired with White Lightning 65mm slip wheels, and all your hardware, bearings, spacers you need, with an extra set of Riptide crank 87A tall cone bushings included, for free. I love Riptide bushings. I never tried slip wheels or Arsenal trucks, so I couldn't tell you anything about them, but comment down below if you want me to review them. Now, speaking of trucks, the Eclipse is a top-mounted deck, which means the truck's attached to the bottom of the board just like a traditional skateboard. And I love that it comes with 3 different mounting options for the trucks, which gives you more personalization for your riding style. Okay, but not only that, what's also cool is just like the urethane rails, the truck mounts are also made of the same exclusive impact-resistant urethane developed specifically for protection and waterproofing, unique to the Moonshine boards, baby. And this also gives the truck mounts additional strength and flexibility with extra protection. You heard? And the Eclipse also comes in 2 flexes. A medium flex for riders weighing 150 pounds or lighter, and a firm flex for riders weighing 150 pounds or heavier. Now, for someone who wants a bouncier feel with more flex to their board, then grab yourself the medium flex, which was building off the iconic Moonshine green used on so many other boards. Now, anyone who likes a stiffer feeling board, go ahead and grab the firm flex, which comes in this deep royal purple color. Now, what's funny is they only picked the color purple because Desjarlais and everyone at Moonshine just wanted a purple longboard for the collection. Isn't that convenient? Isn't it nice? Yeah. Now I'm 164 pounds, and the firm purple Eclipse was still my choice because for me, it had the perfect flex and bounce while keeping a stable top deck at higher speed. Now, speaking of the board color, the green one reminded me of the Toxic Crusader. And if you grew up in the early 90s, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that purple one, that purple Eclipse, it reminded me of his alien arch nemesis, Dr. Kilimoff. So I named the green one the Eclipse Crusader, and the purple one is named Dr. Clips. And together, they're the Toxic Bunch. You know, like the Brady Bunch. Tough crowd. Now, the soft medium rocker of the Eclipse combined with the flex made cruising and pushing this board really comfortable. This board has a progressive concave, which has such an electric flex to it when I was carving and dancing, and that combination really helped me stay comfortably planted on the board as I danced down the street. Another thing I noticed about the board is that it has this cool double rocker design. Now let me explain what I mean. At a side view of the board, its height is lowest at the center and then gets higher as it gets closer to the wheel flares. That's where the second rocker comes in and starts from the wheel flares to the kicktails. This is that double rocker combination makes the board not only feel lower to the ground, but it also helps to keep your feet cemented to the board, giving you more board control, which adds to the stability, especially at high speeds. Now let's talk about the kicktails. They're wider than normal and have a medium slope transition to them that's so comfortable. This extra width means more surface area for your feet to move freely and land on, which helps you stick your tricks. They're wider than I'm used to, but after riding them, I'm actually really loving the stability of what that extra width brings. And with the grab rails under each of the kicktails, they help big time with grabbing for tricks that I can't even do yet. But give me some time to learn, and I'll learn them. I actually just use them every time I walk my board down the street though. I can really feel the comfortability though when I'm using them just walking it down. Now we have to talk about another dope feature, which is this Gripless Griptape. This is something of the future. Now let me explain. This board doesn't have a traditional sheet of grip tape, but instead, it almost feels like it's stamped into the board with a heat press, because there's no actual sheet of grip tape on it. Feels kind of like the surface of an old record. Or have you ever seen one of those lenticular pictures that have these lines that run up and down the surface and they animate when you move the picture side to side? You can kind of see it on the top deck when the sun hits it just right. And as I mentioned before, it's waterproof. You know it. Probably asking yourself, how grippy is it, Steezy? Now let me try to explain in my own words. It's enough of a grip to keep your feet on the board when you're popping no complies, pivots, or doing any sort of foot plants, but still smooth enough to easily dance across the whole top deck. There's enough grip to keep you planted on the board when carving and hitting rails, but it's still smooth enough to hit pirouettes and shuffles with super ease. Now the grip tape is clear too, so you can still see the vertically laminated wood under it. And let me tell you what, so much more detail when you see it in person. You can still add traditional grip tape to it if you need, because this texture on it top loves the sticky grip tape. I actually threw some on the medium flex green Eclipse. In life, as well as with every board review, I come in with no expectations or thoughts. Just excitement to test out another board. But with one look at this thing, my ears perked up. So many questions flooded my mind. But after rigorous testing, I'm thoroughly impressed. The performance, the feel, and just the vibes of the board made me rethink how unconventional construction and ingenious designs can produce something so trailblazing. It sounds weird, I know, but you can really tell that Desjarlais poured his heart and soul into this deck, and it's one of the most innovative longboards I've ever ridden. This board design is so ahead of its time with its originality and ingenuity that it should be something you ride
in the year 3023.
This longboard is like if Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla had a baby together. Now I want to truly thank you for watching. I appreciate you as a viewer, and this channel couldn't be anything without you and everyone out there watching. Thank you again, and see you next time with only Steezy Vibes. Check one, chickadee. Check one, check two.
Hear you saying you will never break the chain.
I'm on 5%.
Those three options are
chickadee check, a Chinese chicken. Start the review now. Start it now. I'm getting bored. Chick one, chickle, chuckles. Chucky one, Chuck Norris one. Oh no. Oh no, not 5. Chuck 1, Chuck 2, none Chuck 3. Water, shall we, quickie? This longboard, oh man, this longboard is like, like Albert Einstein, and Nikola Tesla had a baby together, man,
I wish I could zoom in on this thing.
This board is like if peanut butter and jelly made a sandwich together.